Your eyes fitted in black and your soul full of scars. You are dreaming in your room when it's dark. Music on your mind and on your chin there's a mark. You're a rebel, always a rebel. You are. You are old now, but you were never meant to be. Your friends to go to work, whereas you're watching TV, and you're drinking for yourself in the street, drowning your anxiety in whiskey and defeat. But you're a rebel, always a rebel. You are. And as a rebel you can go where the wind blows, but you have to do it all on your own. You see yourself as disengaged, so casual and smart, and pitiful for the work you must stuck in his car. No bills to pay, no gallows swaying over you now, but deep inside you're longing for a life where you will never be apart. But a rebel, yeah, a rebel you are. And as a rebel you can go where the wind blows, but you have to do it all on your own. And as a rebel you know where to start, but you will never be a star. But a rebel, always a rebel you are.
You're listening to Big Blend Radio Champagne Sunday Show with Nancy and Lisa, and you just heard Always a Rebel. And John, I need you to call back in, please. There's a big static there. So anyway, that was Jon Magnusson. And that was Always a Rebel, which is the title track of his brand new EP, which is awesome. It's got a little punk in there, a little folk, 4 brand new originals, and Always a Rebel also has a remix at the end of it, which is really cool. So that's a really cool thing. But this EP for 4 songs takes you on a nice little journey. So everyone, you can go to his website. It actually comes out March 9th. We're getting all the new stuff. I like this.
I like it.
It's all about getting it on early here on Big Blend Radio. But it releases March 9th in all the different outlets. But you can go to his website, jonmagnusson.se is the website to keep up with John. He's also on Twitter and Facebook and all those great places. Let's see if we can get him on now. John?
Yeah, do you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. How are you?
I'm really good here in Sweden.
Yeah, I know. There's a little bit of an echo, but it's not too bad. But congratulations on the EP, and then congratulations on being a daddy.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's both things are amazing, but I think the kid thing is a little bit more amazing than the EP.
It's quite a big deal. I see you. You know, you're such a networker. You're always on social media with videos, playing, and then sometimes with your little baby right there.
Yeah.
You know. So do you think your little baby's going to become a musician or a rebel?
I hope so. I'm going to hire her as a comp musician in my band when I'm going on tour. So she has to start playing the guitar.
There it is. Get going now. Now.
Yeah.
Well, it's quite a balance to do, to have a new, you know, an expanded family and a new EP out. But this is a really good EP. I loved it. I love every part of it. I love the melodies, the music, and it's like, you know, the other one, Psalms for Sinners. it's an expansion off of that for me in that you still have that little edge of punk, a little bit of folk, and really good storylines.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I saw you wrote that it was thought-provoking, and that's like the best compliment I can get for it. It's really what I want to achieve.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Well, and that's the thing. You know, you think about. Actually, it kind of goes with some of the comments Nancy made at the beginning of the show today, because you look at Always a Rebel. I think there's something inside of us right now. I know how we're feeling in this country. Tell us about Always a Rebel, how that came about, and why you decided that is going to be the EP. Did it start with that song?
No, not really. I think I had these 4 songs that I wanted to record, and Always a Rebel, Set Me on Fire were new songs that I written last year, and the other ones were old songs. Rely on Me was actually written in Swedish for my wife's birthday like 7 years ago. And I'm not the only one. It's also an old song, so I wanted to record all 4 of them. And then I thought that Always a Rebel was a really good title for the EP as a whole.
You know, it's interesting. Set Me on Fire. That song. I like it because it goes through all those thoughts that people have, and it's kind of like when you're raised, there's these things that people tell you must believe, and I think that Set Me on Fire really goes with Always a Rebel. Those two are like it's like the A and B side, you know what I mean? Because it's kind of that. Set Me on Fire is like, am I going to conform, or am I going to do what I want, even if you think it's
Yeah, I think it's a really, really good interpretation. Like, I don't want it to be like an attack on religious people, because people have the right to their own beliefs. But it's more like an attack on the dogmatic view on religion or any belief, for that matter. Like, you can't force your opinion onto someone else.
Right. Yeah, you can't. And don't.
That's true.
We're going through a lot of that in this country of in God we trust, what we put in school.
So I have seen.
Well, I don't know how's Sweden doing.
It's not as bad, but it's like it's getting really polarized here as well. So I think it's the most extreme voices that are getting heard on both sides, and that's like really killing the conversation amongst people.
That's where music comes in. You get to be the buffer and make people think without someone telling them, you will think now. You know what I mean? The music, I think that's what's so important about this. And so this is the thing, too, because you do music in Swedish and then in English. So how's that work when it comes to the lyrics?
Sometimes, like with Rely on Me, it's a translation from the Swedish song, and sometimes when I start writing a song or a song comes to my head, already there I know if it's going to be in Swedish or English. Like, it's quite different kinds of language. Swedish is quite hard to write lyrics in, but English, like as a Swede, you can write almost whatever in English, because people aren't going to listen that much to the lyrics as they're going to do if it's in Swedish.
Interesting. So now, so Always a Rebel having a remix. Tell us about that part. I like it.
That is actually the original version. That it's more like a country Americana kind of sound. But then my producer thought, oh, hey, I'm going to do a totally new mix of this and make it more close to the original idea we had about the song. And I really loved both versions of it. But I preferred the original, the mix that came like song number 4. But I also wanted the alternative mix to stay on the EP, so that's why we have 2 mixes of it.
It's a nice little bonus, I think that's cool. Now, last time you were on the show was I think it was last year, mid year last year, like in summer,
Yeah,
I think.
in the beginning of August, I think.
Yeah, yeah, you were on our World Radio party with we had Nikki Chris on there and then James Saunders from South Africa. We had a
Yeah.
nice conversation about what was going on with SoundCloud and independent music and so now you've got a new EP out, you've got a baby, you traveled to England, you did a tour through England. That was fun.
Yeah,
That was fun watching that. You were
yeah,
doing
it was so much fun doing it as well. I got really sick the second part of the tour, but like I took some I got a recipe of hot toddy. It was whiskey, honey, lemon, and hot water, and that saved the last shows.
Well, I know how that works.
Yes.
Yeah, I was kind of a disaster afterwards, though.
Yeah, it's just at the end, it's like woo,
Yeah.
So, are you going to go back to England?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if I manage to go this year, but definitely going next year. And hopefully I can bring my wife and my kid with me as well, so make it kind of a vacation.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice. And then the other thing too, I mean, your music is going all over the world, which is awesome. Even in South Africa, and I see you so busy, on social media and networking and working together with other independent musicians. Do you think that's part of the success of getting your word out there? Is just you keep beating on the door and working together with other people?
Yeah, definitely. Like I still have a little contact with Nikki and James. Like we're friends on Facebook, and I see James putting a picture of the fishes he catches down in Australia. And like I also started to interact with the new technology, with all the blockchain stuff that is really interesting for independent music.
Yeah, it is changing up a little bit because I know when you were on the show you were talking about you're doing a lot with Spotify.
Yeah.
And so you're still doing a lot with them. Are they still? Because I just saw that they went public, didn't they?
Yeah.
As a company.
Yeah, exactly. I still think Spotify is a good way to reach out to like the broader audience, but I really prefer the new services that are more like it's a lot more transparent. It's a lot more fair to the artist. Like there is a service called Musicoin, where you sign a contract. That's the name is pay for play. Like the listener pays directly to you as an artist every time they play your song, instead of going through record labels and PROs and all the middlemen.
That's good, because I think that was a hard time at the beginning for musicians with that, was that kind of thing where they weren't getting their money. And I think there was a little bit of, toss and tumble with something like that. Do you think SoundCloud is still going to stick around?
I don't think so, actually, because like you don't get anything from SoundCloud. I think they cleaned up quite a lot of the spam on SoundCloud, but it's still the new services is gonna take over, unfortunately.
I see changes. And just even here on the radio side, there's changes every single day, and the internet. I mean, it seems like there's these bigger companies coming in and swallowing up the little ones.
Yeah.
So and sometimes that can be a better thing because they can give the money into it. Sometimes it's not. And so it's anybody who's in anything, whether it's podcasting, it's independent music, publishing, you have to keep your eyes out on all of your vendors, all the people you work with.
Yeah, like it's like two parallel processes. Like one is the major companies taking over everything, but at the grassroots level, like there are a lot of services where you can, like the consumer can do micro payments directly to the artist, which I think that's gonna really change it for a lot of independent artists, at least.
Yeah, I think and that's why working together with other artists too. I think that's another thing is, do you feel like that if musicians talk to each other and work together versus competing, that it can work better for that kind of thing?
Definitely. Like I stopped entering competitions and contests because I think it's more it doesn't answer who's the best musician. It's answer who can get the most family members to vote for their song. So I'm much more for collaborations and cooperation with other artists and also other like radio persons like you guys and bloggers. Like everyone depends on each other, so it's better to help each other out than to compete.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I like that. I want to play another one of your songs. Is that okay, John?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I wanted to play I'm Not the Only One, just to talk. It goes with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I like that. But I wanted everyone to hear this, and then we'll definitely play another one before you go. But here it is. I'm not the other one, excuse me, I'm not the only one. I'm not having that much champagne, can you tell? I have to bring this up to everybody. Speaking of being on Twitter with you, it's so fun because you guys all you're busy on there, but I remember one day going, "Happy Hump Day" to you.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Is that what it? Is it real? What is that? How dirty it is?" There were some interesting conversations going back and forth on Hump Day. It's the Hump Day. It's the middle of the week, and then all of a sudden he's got a little baby girl in his life. So I think you took it seriously.
Yeah.
That's funny, but anyway, here it is. I'm not the only one, everyone. Go get Always a Rebel out March 9th. Again, jonmagnusson.se is the website to go to. So enjoy this.
Pocket. Don't wanna sell my soul, it's nothing worth. Got nothing else here to offer. Look at me, I'm broke. I lost control. There's nothing left to leave. There's no one
and that was I'm Not the Only One off of the brand new EP called Always a Rebel by Jon Magnusson, and you can get it at jonmagnusson.se. It'll be out on March 9th in all the main outlets there. Jon, I love that song because I feel like you've got the 60s and 70s and 80s all melted together. You know, there's like, and yet it flows, and it takes you. I feel like you're listening. You're in someone's thoughts listening to that.
Yeah, you have a really good interpretation of my songs. That's also what I'm trying to achieve with this song, like to really follow someone's flow of thoughts, and I also want it to be quite bittersweet. Like it's a bit mellow, but still very hopeful.
It's very honest. It's a very kind of raw honesty, and I think that's what's refreshing about your music. I think this is real stuff. You know, it's not overproduced, and there's this raw inner stuff going on that you, if anybody got hold of it in one of those big corporate things, they'd start cleaning it they would ruin it.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. That's like I can't barely listen to mainstream music anymore. I listen to jazz and I listen to independent music. It's the only thing I can stand.
Yeah, I know, because it becomes this, and it almost all sounds so flat.
It starts to sound like commercials.
Yeah. There's no movement. There's no dynamics anymore, and that's what I think is so hard. I want something that I can hear what someone is trying to say, you know, and even if it is in a different language, you should be able to get that too, you know.
I think it's because they try to appeal to everybody.
Yeah.
They want to have a marketability factor and have a direct target market, but at the same time, so they want you to say, what kind of musician are you? And don't pick more than one kind. But when they produce something, they want it to broadcast it out, and everybody should like it. So then it takes all the edge off.
Yeah, and they want it to sound good on iPhones. Like the sound is so compressed. That's because you should be able to play it as loud as possible in any kind of stereo, but that kills all the dynamics.
Okay.
See, that's interesting.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Now, putting this together, you produced it with you, and then you had two other friends. One friend, Ruben Engzell, and it was studio. Okay, you get to pronounce that. Like every time you come on the show, I want a Swedish lesson.
Studio Ljudriket.
Ljudriket.
Yeah.
Studio Ljudriket. Ooh, what does that mean?
Ljudriket. That's really hard to translate. Like ljud is sound, like rain of sound. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like water harmony kind of. Yeah, I know. I understand that. So L and J is like a U. So Ljudriket. Okay. So Ruben, tell us about Ruben.
We actually met through my vocal coach. So I recorded the vocals for a song for Sinners with him, but then I decided I wanted to do the real thing for this EP, and I hired him. He's actually a professional sound engineer with a university degree and everything. But most of all, like he really gets my aesthetic view, so he really pushes me to do the best thing with my music, and he comes with all these crazy ideas. Like in the end of Set Me on Fire, he plays a distorted glockenspiel, like a real glockenspiel that we ran through an amplifier to distort it, and it sounds amazing. Cool. So we worked on this since June last year, so more than half a year. But it has been so much fun and really click on a creative level.
And then also talking about that, I know I want to talk about your drummer too, but talking about on the creative side, you also worked with a Brazilian rapper, Bruno Smokey.
Yeah.
And so I mean, this is so cool. So you're open to trying something completely different.
Yeah, the fun thing is that actually my wife's cousin's husband, and we recorded it the same day as I was on the show in August.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that because you guys were out in the yard with a drum and carrying on, and it was cool. I was like, dude, that's awesome. And then I'm like, wait, we need more champagne. Keep playing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. Now, Jesper Johnson. So that was the drummer on the EP, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and go ahead.
And he also has released some new songs with Ruben as the producer as well, and it's really good. And the name is The Courage. I can send you the link on Twitter later on. He's also really good, both a good songwriter and an amazing drummer. I think that's maybe the biggest difference between this EP and the last one is that the drums are so good and so tight and so good. He did an amazing job.
I love this EP. I mean, I'm excited about it, and to me, there's these songs, like the whole EP could be in part of in a movie, and it'd have to be independent because of who you are as Mr. Independence here.
Yeah.
Because even Always a Rebel just says, listen, like I'm an independent, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm raising my flag, and that's that. It's like it is about being very true to yourself. This whole album is like I'm true to myself, and I'll do it the way I want to, even if it's not going to always, be the best thing for. You know what I mean? It's not going to be. If it's not the Miss Popularity contest, that this is about being true to yourself for integrity purposes,
Yeah, I think that's really important. Like some people would say, like you can't have a hip hop song and then an electronic dance music song and then some indie rock and then some folk. You can't blend those genres in one profile. But I think why not?
I agree with you on that. Mm-hmm. Why not? I mean, absolutely. That's to me what makes it exciting. And would you ever have your music on a movie? Would you like to do something like that for in an independent movie as a soundtrack?
That would be awesome. That would be a dream.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool.
Yes. So if you know someone, tell them.
I know. I'm just going to ask everyone every time they're on the show. I talk about that because if some things just are really suited for that, and I think your music is. So what's next for you, Jon?
Next is I actually during Christmas when we were waiting for Alma to arrive, like she was about to arrive in the end of January, so I decided, I want to record an acoustic EP here during the holidays, and I almost managed to record it all, but then she decided to come on New Year's Day. So
I remember, New Year's Day. I was like, wow.
But I actually finished recording that one, and it's getting mixed and mastered by a friend of mine from Luxembourg. So it's going to be done in a few days, but I think I will wait to release that until later on because I don't want it to clash too much with this EP. And then I'm also doing some fun collaboration. I'm actually singing on a EDM song from the name is Sevo. I don't pronounce it really good, but he's a friend I met through the Steemit community. So I have quite a lot of things going on.
That is cool. That is cool. So the best thing for people to keep up with you is through your website and then go to YouTube and Twitter and all that is if they go to jonmagnusson.se?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's Jon with no H, and it's JONMAGNUSSON, jonmagnusson.se, and connect with him on Twitter and on Facebook, and you're still doing like a thing where you send out like a blog through Facebook, through Messenger and stuff, right?
Yeah, I would say if you really want to follow me closely, I would say the Messenger channel is the best one.
That's interesting. I don't know many people doing that. That's an interesting way.
It's mostly like small businesses that uses it, but I think it's really, really useful as a musician as well.
Why not? Yeah, why not? So I want to play Set Me on Fire. because we have to. You want to give
Yeah.
everybody a little background on the song?
Yeah, actually, I wrote it like I came up with the first line, like put something in my bloodstream to take away the pain. It was like a few years ago. I was struggling with a lot of anxiety, and I actually met a really good doctor and started medicating for it. So it's actually quite of a tribute to the medication. And it's actually something that went to my bloodstream and took the pain away. So that's really honest. And then the rest of it is like my view on life. Like I don't believe there is any inherent meaning to life. Like you have to create the meaning for yourself together with others. But if you choose to believe in God or something else, that's totally fine, as long as it's as you don't push your beliefs on someone else.
Yeah. It's about being independent, man. It is. It really is. Yeah, that's it. And so now, what is your champagne toast? You're not allowed to leave here without a toast, or is it beer for you? Because I know that I think you like beer, as I recall.
Yeah, I think it's exactly the same beer as I had during summer. It's Swedish light beer because I don't want to get drunk now when I have a kid to take care of. So instead, I'm drinking light beer.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, balance, huh? That's a balance.
Yeah.
You need that. So what are you toasting to?
I have to toast to the new EP, and of course to my daughter and my wife, and also my father-in-law that's living with us, and he has been such a great help during these 2 first months, and like all the independent music community, Monster Thread, Atom Collector Records, and just everyone.
No, we should say that Monster Thread. Tell everybody about Monster Thread. Hashtag Monster Thread. Yeah,
it's a community that I started last summer as well, and since 4 or 5 months ago, I'm running it together with Toby Davis, who's also the guy who producing my acoustic EP. So we're trying to get interaction between independent artists and collaboration with playlists and like I know people who got to know each other through the Monster Thread and played gigs together in the UK, and so it's a lot about interact with each other and find the collaborations.
How do people get connected with you for that?
It's the monsterthread.com is the website, and there you can read everything about it, and also join the Facebook group. Like most of the interaction is through the Facebook group. Okay,
so there you go, man. This is awesome. You're like a busy bee when it comes to networking. Everybody, I haven't seen anybody just like. You're like active, dude.
yeah, but it's so much fun.
It is. Well, it's cool because you get to connect with people, you know.
Yeah.
And those who don't, it's like, oh well, you're missing the party.
Yeah, well, it's like I start to forget how I really got to know people. Like I don't remember how we met. I think it was through
Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, you emailed us. And yeah. I think it was through Twitter, and then you emailed us there. Yeah, we did that.
Yeah, that's it. Like, but I think the most important thing is like a lot of people, they send an email and they got a song played on radio, and that's it. They doesn't follow it up or build a real relationship, and then gets quite boring. But to be able to come on the show again, to follow each other on Facebook, like I got to know some new people thanks to you, like Nick and James. So I think the follow up is more important than like everyone can send an email to anyone, but it's the follow up that it's the hard thing.
Yeah, no, that's a good lesson in life. It's about building relationships. Because it's true, and if you're not doing something together and having that relationship, we forget. I mean, for us, we get emails and all of that all the time, and it's like, okay, who are we going to work with? You know, we're going to work with someone that we've built a relationship on. That's part of our business motto is that.
Yeah.
You know, not the people who don't do follow-ups, or to me that's actually part of a respect. Actually, is the follow up between each other.
Yeah, definitely. And I understand, like an artist, you won't be able to listen to every radio show that plays your music all the time because you don't.
Mm-hmm.
It's physically impossible. But you have to like at least retweet and answer and listen to a bit of it. Like I maybe tune in like 3-4 times to listen to the Big Blend radio show, like some kind of payback.
Well, because you have to, because how do you know if it's even a show you want to be on? That's another thing. People come on shows and it's like, have you ever listened to a show? This is kind of just a tip. But you've tuned in. I remember we've actually had 2 Swedish people on our shows after you. We had Nina Söderqvist, the vocalist. She's an incredible singer. And we also had Linda McGurk, and she's here in the States. She lives in Indiana, and she wrote a parenting book about that there's no such thing as bad weather, and that here in America people don't go out with their kids and don't experience nature as much as growing up in Sweden. Like even if it's snowing, people will go out for a hike. Yeah. Yeah. I heard some of that show and actually had some interaction with her as well when she was on the show. Oh, cool. And so is that true now? Are you taking your baby on walks even if there's a lot of snow? You were on a video the other day, and I'm looking at your backyard. I'm going, look how much snow! It looks like magical. It really is. Like I live 20 minutes from the center of Stockholm, but I have like the most beautiful lake 10 minutes walk away. So I've been walking a lot with my dog here, but the baby is still too small to be outside because it has been like 10 degrees minus Celsius. Oh, yeah. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Cold. Yeah. Cold. That's cold. That's when I whine. Then I start crying like a baby with that kind of weather. But then I really like looking at the snow because it's so pretty and it's so quiet and peaceful, Yeah, it's amazing. Oh, wow. So keep us posted on all the new music, you know that. And everybody, again, go get Always a Rebel. It's a great EP, and it'll be out March 9th. And go to jonmagnusson.se. Keep up with him on Twitter and all those great outlets as well. Thank you so much for joining us, Jon. Thank you, and cheers. Cheers. Toast to you. Congratulations on all of your baby, family, and all the work that you're doing in connecting people. Toast to you. Okay. Thank you very much. Here it is. Set Me on Fire, because you need some heat over there. We're going to play this now, everyone. Attenuate my anxiety, make me go astray. Then cover me with blankets, ease my aching heart. I don't wanna be a martyr, though I suffer for the art. Set me on fire, don't preach about eternity while life is fairly well. Don't lie to us, I know that there's no heaven, there's no hell. And if Jesus is your savior, cross me off your list. In the end I might get burned, but I gladly take that risk. Set me on fire, set me on fire. And kisses fire burning, don't tuck me into sleep. Whisper softly in my ear that I'm the one you'll keep. I might get old.